Dear listeners, Mr. Karceno is trying to save lives by bringing awareness to parents or others close to an individual potentially addicted to crack. They may benefit from knowing what some of the warning signs are. Smoking crack at the expense of your finances, your relationships, or other important aspects of your life. Mr. Joseph Budden, who may or may not use the drug, need to be made aware also, because less heavy drugs could be a gateway to crack.
And we're going to talk very serious for a minute, because a lot of people, look at the videos and be like, oh no, here he goes again, another attack on Mr. Budden. But this is a very serious issue. Our whole generation, youth, has been infected with this disease of a drug called crack since it exploded like a bomb in the early 80s during the Reagan era. Crack is a dangerous substance. It's unlike anything you have probably ever seen. Crack cocaine, for casual recreational use for any significant duration due to its powerful addictive nature, it can be taken very seriously and must be taken very seriously by the user and those that take it. The symptoms of crack abuse is mostly physical and psychological. Okay? And because crack is so addictive, it causes an intense high. When users smoke crack, it's such an experience for them. It's like a euphoria that just comes out of nowhere, where the experience seems just so intense and energetic that it's like nothing you've ever seen. The brain rewards the centers, that are activated by the crack reinforced simulation, so the repeated use of the drug becomes needed and the brain craves it. But when the high wears off, the person who's doing it feels a need to smoke more and more, because they become agitated, restless, paranoid, irritable, angry. Do you understand the reasons why this is such a problem? And drugs like MDMA, they give them cool nicknames like Molly to try to make it sound cool to use. And rappers or other artists are using these type of drugs. We've seen DMX go down this road, and we've seen the old dirty bastard go down this road tragically. And it's a hard drug to suppress, especially when you're surrounded in the environment in which these drugs are going to be present. Everything starts as a gateway drug, and mostly 87% of these people started off smoking marijuana as their first gateway into drugs. Everyone's searching for that new or exciting high. Now, a lot of you might see somebody like Joe Budden and say, is he a crackhead? A lot of things that this person does, you can say or affiliate it with crack cocaine. If you took a look at Joe Budden just a couple of days ago, you would assume that this person may or may not be a crackhead. You may look at Joe Budden a few years ago and say, this guy may or may not be a crackhead. If you put my picture and a picture of Joe Budden, and said, which guy you think has smoked crack before? I can safely say I believe the majority of the general public would choose Joe Budden. His behavior, his paranoia, everything you heard from him that you've been seeing from my videos, when you hear actual Joe Budden's voice tell you his own thoughts, and this isn't the show off for the camera, this isn't the flamboyance, this is a disturbed man who's paranoid, restless, agitated, irritated, angry. Now, he says he doesn't smoke crack, and I believe him. I think he suffers from a mental illness. Doesn't mean he isn't smart. But this thing comes with an increased focus, intense bursts of energy, sense of escaping reality, hallucinating. That's what comes from the crack cocaine. I didn't make this video to joke. I made this because it's serious, and I want you guys to always be aware, because you guys might have friends that might resemble some of these things. Don't be afraid to sit down and talk to them and tell them what you think, and say, hey, I'm here for you, because you care enough about their life. So if you're a friend of Joe Budden, you knew this guy in the past has taken angel dust, which is another powerful crack-like drug, antihistamine. Some of the symptoms, or individual that's addicted to it, some of the warning signs you might see: increased heart rate, hypertension, dilated pupils, insomnia. They suffer from these type of things, mood swings, and a tendency to put high priorities of obtaining this drug. Like, I don't really need this car. It's like, how we gonna get from A to B? I'm thinking about getting a bike or just walking, getting some exercise. Psychotic symptoms, which we just talked on. Volatile mood swings. This guy was breaking into his girlfriend's home, sleeping under her bed, trying to see what guy she brought into the home. Now, I'm not saying he's doing crack. I'm just saying, these are some of the things you need to pay attention to. Nosebleeds, twitching of muscles, lack of appetite, weird weight loss. These are some of the factions you need to kind of keep your eye on. Because people will tell you out their mouth, I don't smoke crack. They'd be like, then why are you holding that pipe in your hand? They didn't even know it was there. Been in those situations where that is happening. They will still lie. Crack users, cocaine users, these people will always continuously come up with different stories and lies to support and keep the habit going. So, this is an awareness video. This is not a bashing video. If you know someone that may resemble this, does not have to be Joe Budden. It could be anyone else in the world. I hate to just single him out. I'm just using him as an example of somebody that may resemble somebody that could be on this product. Even though I don't believe he is. I believe he's suffering from a mental illness. But still, I think someone needs to look into it, because there might be something here where people around him, if they're not yes men, could possibly save this guy's life.
I done took the wine out of Amy house.